Um, so yeah, I was hoping that or expecting that other people would join. I know that we had I think his name was Nate or Nathaniel. He joined us last time, and
Yeah.
I've started advertising this on the website. And there's a student I've had for many years, Daniel, who expressed interest. So I was hoping he might be on the call too. So keep your ears open in case you hear a ping. It might indicate that somebody wants to join. So don't let me miss it.
Okay.
So yeah, with no one else here offering suggestions, is there anything that you would like to dive into? You've started here with Phil on some of the yellow belt stuff. Do you want to look at that
Right.
or?
You touched a little bit on delayed sword. That's really about as far as we got. We've been working on a lot of just the basic foot movements, basic strikes, started on some of the basic kicks just to get familiar with how some of this works. But we have done delayed sword in brief. So it wouldn't hurt to go through that and some of the yellow belt stuff if you have no objection.
Okay. Yeah, let's see it here as a pop quiz. I won't demonstrate anything here just yet. We'll just see how delayed sword is rocking and rolling.
Okay, I'll let you grab me first. So I'm going to grab the front of the Go ahead and grab it.
That's it. Very good.
Because it's pretty straightforward. We've been working on it, like I said, and footwork's always, you and I have talked about this before, especially stepping too far back into that neutral ball, then having to recover and get that front kick going quicker.
Yeah. The other tip I want to give to Phil as the practice partner, can you administer the grab one more time for me? Grab Matt's shirt. Yeah, so we'll freeze right there. That looks good. Last time you had your other foot forward, which is kind of like you sort of reaching across your own body. So I think it's more natural for the opponent if he's grabbing right-handed, he'll step with his right foot, his right hip will be forward, his right shoulder will be forward. Also, widen your stance for me just a little bit when you grab Matt, and get a little closer to him. Yeah, someone who's grabbing your lapel is quite confident, right? They're bigger, they're stronger, they're trying to intimidate you. Maybe they're getting ready to do a wrestling move, so they're going to be in close. They're going to have an athletic stance, and I'm going to exaggerate what you did initially, and I think we do it. I'm guilty of it too. Give me one second here. I think as practice partners, we do what I'm about to demonstrate here for a couple of different reasons. So what you gave me when you grabbed Matt was you had your other foot forward, and it was kind of a long reach like this.
Right.
And I think the bad guy's gonna be close. He's gonna be grabbing and ready to punch. And I think sometimes we reach far away, partly because we know that the partner, in this case Matt, is going to be executing a move, and we kind of want to keep our vitals a safe distance. Um, but when you play the role of the bad guy, you kind of have to ham it up. It's almost like theater in a sense, right? This is obviously practical stuff, but you have to sort of live the part. So you're a bad guy. You're in there close, maybe a little too close, and you're grabbing his lapel. So let's see it one more time. Yeah, that looked really good. Now the reason
And I didn't realize how much of a difference that makes. But you're right, because somebody that's going to be grabbing me isn't going to be here. He wants to be out here because he's going to chew me a new one. So that makes a huge difference in terms of the strike and everything.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic of the strike a little bit, but it should also help you, Matt, feel more comfortable with that front kick because he's starting closer. So when you take your step, he's still within range for that front kick. If an opponent grabs you and he's really far like this, he's really of no threat, right? He's only a threat if he's in close. And so, but that is good for you because now you get to do your front kick. So let's see it one more time. The other tip I might give to Phil is not to turn your body too sideways. So this time it looked really good. You had your right foot forward, you had a right grab, but I'm going to exaggerate. Don't turn totally sideways to Matt either. You want to kind of square off a little bit because again, this guy's getting in your face. He's grabbing your shirt. He's like, "Look, man, I'm gonna," right? He's not look, man, he's not turning sideways. And I'm exaggerating. You weren't this far, right? But try to really play the part and think that you're going to crack Matt in the face with your other hand.
Oh, that's just terrible. But anyway, hey, buddy.
Yes, very good. Now, the third tip I'll give, and you may be more inclined to do this if Matt goes slow. And Matt, you're doing a tremendous job. But this is for Phil's sake because it's all new. We want to give the right reactions. So when Matt kicks to the groin, we might not expect the opponent to lean back. Now you're leaning back because you know the chop is coming, but the opponent won't lean back because he will have just been struck in the groin, and the pain will compel him to bend over. So we'll slow it down just a little bit so that Phil feels comfortable leaning into that chop. And when you receive the kick to the groin, Phil, I want you to double over at least a little bit. Let's see.
Think about any time you've ever taken one to the hoo-ha. So you know how it works. We're all guys here. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks really good. So, I think it's important to even when both practice partners have years of experience under their belt, to practice the technique slowly, um, because sometimes as the good guy, I want to get through the technique fast, and I can sometimes feel a little disappointed, like why isn't he bending over faster, or why isn't he falling or doing this? But I can do the move fast in the air, faster than the opponent actually has time to react. And so this gets to that idea of decision points that we were talking about a while back there, Matt. So when you do your technique, you have a big strike to the arm, and the first two might be in rapid succession, right? Arm kick, groin to the kick to the groin, and then, as the name suggests, a delay, a pause, waiting for that reaction, so that you can really hammer that chop. I want you to turn your right foot inward as you settle into your stance. Yeah. Now, but don't pivot on the heel. I want you to pivot on the toe like you're putting out a cigarette. Ready? So you're stepping back and you're sinking into your stance. There we go. And really bend the knees for me. Excellent. Now, when we're getting ready for that inward block, I want you to make a strong fist with your right hand, and I want you to put it up to your eyebrow like this. There we are. And when you deliver, I'll do it with my left hand here so that you look like you're looking in a mirror. I want your right hand to travel in this diagonal. Do you see how that's working there? It's kind of like a windshield wiper. It's not coming across this way. That's wrong. It's not doing this. It's not a rotator cuff. Don't do that. It's not this, but it's, if you imagine a diamond or a square here sideways or on an angle, you're kind of traveling. It's like a side length that's traveling through the square. Notice when I finish, my wrist is still higher than my elbow. What you're giving me, Phil, you're going about halfway and then you're turning it into a rotator cuff. It's not this kind of movement, rotating in the shoulder, but it's a whole pectoral latissimus pull like this. There we go. But finish with your fist at the same height as your shoulder. So I want you to complete one block and then freeze. So we'll start up here by your eyebrow, and you're going to deliver one block and freeze. Go ahead and deliver that block. Yep. And now evaluate your block. Oop, don't reset. I want you to look at it and say, did I do it right or did I not do it right? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Better than before. Now, the other tip I want to give you is not to rotate the body a whole bunch. So when you deliver this block, I don't want you to step and turn your back to the opponent. You see how you can see my shoulder blades? I'm not doing a good job here. So what I want to do, I want my shoulder blades, my shoulders to just turn on a 45-degree angle. So I go from square to the opponent to a 45. That's the most that I'm going to turn. So show me, get square for me here for a minute. Face the camera. Face the camera. I want you to turn your shoulders like this. Just the smallest little turn you can do. Yeah. And then maybe do just a little bit more of a turn. Yep, that's the most right there. That's your maximum turn. Don't ever turn more than what you've just done right now. That's the most I'm going to let you turn, okay? So let's do that one more time. Give me too little of a turn. Give me just the tiniest little turn that's not enough. Now go crazy and give me like a total side turn. Yeah, that's wrong. Yep. So we'll come back here. We don't even have to step. Just the shoulders, just a little shoulder turn. That's it. So even when you do step, that's the most you're ever allowed to turn your shoulders. Now put your hand up here by your temple. You're going to take your step. You're only going to turn as much as you're authorized, and you're going to deliver that block. Go. Yep, bend your knees for me. Yeah, I think that looks really good. I can still see your shoulder. Ready? Do that again. Reset. Yep, just the tiniest little shoulder turn, and you deliver the block. Ooh, that's looking good. That is looking good. Do that again. Yep, very good. Now, the other thing I want you to do, your free hand, your left hand in this case, I want it to be what's called a positional check. It's just an open hand, and it's going to sit right in front of your solar plexus. Yep. Don't let it be off to the side because that won't save you. And don't let it actually touch your body. Don't let it be like a rest. I used to have a bad habit of letting my hand drop. And I think some people have a habit of kind of resting their hand on their body. You want to get it out in a way. You can appreciate there's a little gap here. And the reason is that it's kind of like a shock absorber, right? If it's already compressed to your body, all you're going to get is, it's going to hurt your hand and your body if you get hit. But if it's out here, it can become a check, it can absorb a hit. So have it kind of float out here, but it's still behind your block. So don't make this mistake. Do you see what I did here where I let my check go beyond my block? So make sure that it stays back here, but yeah. So let's see here from the top. You've got your preparation at your temple. Your other hand can be down at this moment, but yes, this hand comes up, and then as you deliver the block, that other hand can guard your solar plexus. Perfect. That's it. Don't ever move any further than that. If you want to add power to that block, bend your knees. Yes, it's your body weight sinking. It's not a big upper body twist. It's just you falling, and you're making one point of contact with your arm to his arm, and it's all your body weight that's going to strike his arm. So let's see that one last time, all connecting the dots there. You touch your temple, you step back, minimalist twist as you drop. Perfect. Yep, and you've got your check. Bring that check more out in front. Now, I noticed that the both of you are looking off towards your 1030. I want you to always look at me, look at the camera. Because
Okay.
the camera, I'm representing your bad guy. So he's in front of you. Don't let, if it helps, you can pick a point on the wall or pick an object in the room and say that object is representational of my bad guy. And so just because you step and block, that object hasn't moved anywhere. He's still there. He's still your bad guy. He's in front of you here. So let's do it one more time. Look, for my sake, I suppose, look at the camera. I'm your bad guy. You're going to prepare your eyebrow. You're going to step and block and continue to look at me. There it is. Perfect. Now, let's think about executing that front kick. The right foot can chamber and execute a kick. Yeah. So let's focus on the cat stance for a moment. So when you noticed Matt do this technique at speed, he did it the way I encouraged him to, which was to not cat or sort of gloss over the cat stance. He did an excellent job. Starting off here, we're going to introduce a cat stance and we're going to make it explicit for your sake, for balance. But later on, and you're looking at Matt, and you're like, Matt, where did the cat stance go? Right? It's kind of not really there, or it's there, but it's so quick you don't even see it. So let's do some cat stances.
That is one of the nice things in the video. You go over, eventually toward the end of it, glossing over that cat stance. If you say that. That's helpful.
Yeah. So you're in a right neutral bow like this. So go ahead and face the camera. I guess I'll go left here so that I look like your mirror. I want you to take your right foot and I want you to pull it back towards your left. Yep. And hopefully you can appreciate here, I'll get a little closer. You can see how my feet form an angle. It's not a 90-degree angle. This would be a 90-degree angle. But my rear foot is pointed off on a diagonal here. For you, it would be your left foot pointing towards 10:30. And your right foot, the toe, is pointing towards 12 o'clock. So let's do that one more time. You're in a neutral bow. You're in a right neutral. I'm in the left as your mirror image. You're going to take your right foot and you're going to draw it back into that stance. And what that does, you should be able to lift your foot. And all your weight has transferred to your rear leg. So now you have the freedom to lift. And that's what we're going for. So we'll do it one last time. You're in a neutral bow. You're going to draw that foot into a cat stance. Now I want you to lift your knee up like this. Yeah. And then we can think about extending a kick, rechambering. This bent position is called a chamber. And then we can plant down all the way back to our neutral bow. Yeah. I'll do it from a side view here. When you executed the front kick before we went on this exploration of a cat stance, it kind of looked like your leg went out straight, and maybe there was a bit of a execution at the end. If I do it here from a side view, we want a cat stance, we want a chamber like this, and only from this position will we reach out with the front kick. So we have chamber, kick, rechamber. So let's do a few repetitions here. We're going to start neutral bow. We have a cat stance. We have a chamber. We're going to execute the front kick and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Rechamber. Hold the rechamber, hold the rechamber. And now we're going to go back down to neutral bow. Yep, one more time. Cat stance. Chamber. Hold the chamber, hold the chamber. Extend the front kick and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Rechamber and hold it. Hold it. And now put it down. Yep, very good. So let's see if we can do that in the context of the technique. So you're starting off square to your opponent. You've got your right hand up by your eyebrow, by your temple. Remember the minimalist shoulder turn. Let's not forget that. So you're going to turn your shoulders just the tiniest amount as you step back and deliver your block. Good. Don't forget your other hand is a positional check by your solar plexus. And I need you to bend your knees a whole bunch because the power of the block does not come from your arm. I mean, yes, there's pectoral, yes, there's latissimus, but it's really bending your knees that's going to convince the opponent to let go. Now here comes the big moment. You're going to draw that foot into a cat stance. You're going to lift into a chamber and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. You're going to extend the front kick and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Rechamber and hold it. Now plant down to a neutral bow. Good. Very good. Now, there's another tip I want to give you. It's a subtlety that I maybe didn't mention in the video, the instructional video. And it looks like this. So you have your block. You have your cat in your chamber, I want you to square your hips as you bring that leg up into a chamber and front kick. The alternative is to stay kind of on the diagonal. Let me do this from a side view so you can see what I'm talking about. So I block, and you can appreciate that my hips are off on a diagonal here. I'm going to cat, but as I cat, I'm going to square my hips. So my butt is sticking out. My hips now are back towards 12 o'clock when I execute the front kick. The alternative is to keep my hips out. And when I do this, I don't have any strength. My hip flexor up here gets really tired really fast, and my leg starts to drop. But if I take these hips and I square them to the opponent, now it's kind of like an ab crunch in the gym. And lifting that leg feels a lot stronger than if it's out here and it's kind of oblique and hip flexor. So let's do it one more time, and I'll give you that cue. So you're square to your opponent. You're going to put your hand up by your temple. Minimalist shoulder turn as you step back and deliver that inward block. Good. Whoop, you turn your shoulders a little too much. Bring them back just a hair. Got your other hand guarding your solar plexus. Good. Now, as you cat, I want you to pull your right hip back and square your hips to your bad guy. Bend your knees a little bit and stick your butt out. Yes, and Superman chest, like your now your right foot, at least from the perspective of the camera, your right foot looks like it's turned out too far. Can you straighten your right foot for me? Right perfectly towards the opponent? Yes, and get your right heel off the ground. Your right heel should not be touching the ground. Oh, your other right heel. There we go. Perfect. Yes, square your hips even more. Stick your butt out and give me Superman chest. There we go. Perfect. Now keep your hip back like that as you lift your knee for the chamber. Very good. Extend for the kick. Yep, you got the rechamber. And put it back down. Very good. Very good. Yeah, when we let our hips, if I do the cat and I keep my hips sideways and I lift and I kick, there really isn't any power. I'm sort of just flicking my leg. But the moment I pop my side view here, the moment I sort of stick my butt out, again, it's like that squat in the gym. And when I kick, it's just like I'm pushing up out of a squat, right? Although it's a snap kick, it's kind of like a leg press machine, right? So you really want to think about your biggest muscles. Those are your glutes and your pecs and your lats. You want to put them in a position where they can really contribute the most. So that's looking really good. We only have one strike left to finish the move, and it's our outward downward chop. So face me in a right neutral bow. Put your right hand up by your left ear. Oh, yeah, there we go. And it's the infamous karate chop that Mr. Miyagi would do in Karate Kid. And you're gonna do it on an outward downward diagonal from your left ear down towards your right hip. That's it. Now, don't let your elbow get totally straight. The movement, you're gonna start in this bent arm position. And by the end, your elbow will be like 90% straightened, but it won't be locked out. And that's the moment at which your arm is going to hit. So it's kind of the opposite recommendation I gave you earlier for the inward block. Remember the inward block, I said lock your elbow in this bent position, and we don't want any rotator cuff, and we don't want any sort of elbow extension. Well, here we do want some of that elbow extension, but not all the way out. Just, like I said, about 90%. And I really want you to think about swinging a hammer. When you go to hit a nail with a hammer, you don't think about locking your elbow out the moment that hammer hits. You let your arm extend, but the moment that hammer hits, your arm has a healthy bend in it. Uh, and so that's what we're doing here. Your arm is like a sword or a hammer, and that's how we're swinging it. So one more time, you're going to start it by your ear. You're going to swing down towards your hip, and yes, your elbow is going to keep a little bend in it. I would say both of your arms are still a little too straight. Uh, bend them a little bit more. Yes, Matt, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks better, Phil. Boom. Yes, that's it. That's it. And the best way to find that angle is to try breaking some boards. And it sounded like Matt has got a good board holder and some rebreakable boards. So start with the easy. Oh, and maybe he's got it here already. That would be cool. Awesome. Yeah, so you can either hold for each other, or sometimes what I do is I just set it up on cinder blocks because you want the downward component to this chop. Uh, so if you want to give it a go here for each other, let's see it. Yep, whenever you're ready. Oop, watch the fingers. You don't want to slice the board. You want to hit with the base of your hand. This is the karate chop area, and you want to go through the board. Aim for his body. Yes. Now freeze. That last one didn't break, but do you see what happened? Instead of thinking about slicing the surface of the board, you thought about going through it. And in order to go through it, you had to not straighten your elbow all the way, right? So we don't want to slice with our fingertips. We want this chop to go into the opponent. And so, yes, there's an arm straightening, but it doesn't actually straighten all the way. So let's see it one more time and see if we can get through that board. All right, so there we ended up slicing through the surface of the board again. All right. Yeah, we'll give Matt a go here. Yeah, go ahead. There we go. That looks really good. Now, Matt, you did an excellent job there. You managed to break the board. You had really good follow through. I still feel like I would have wanted you to. I feel like if the board was more challenging for you, it may have resulted in a similar sort of slicing of the surface. So I want you to
It did because I could feel it stinging across here, so I knew I had done it not as well as I could have because I could feel it sting these two fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you could try to do, and it's all right if you don't have the setup here for you today, but if you have two cinder blocks, you can stand the cinder blocks on their ends so they're rather tall and get them just close enough to hold the board. And then you can do, from your right ear down or from your left ear down and try to focus on the whole point is to drive your strike straight down to the ground. You don't want to slice the surface of the board, but you want it to travel all the way through. So I think you guys get the point there. And it's the board breaking that will really help it make sense. When we do it in the air, right, if we're not really visualizing, it's easy to not have our movements be exactly what they want them to be. Even with a practice partner, right, we're not really trying to hurt him. And so we may allow our strikes to do things that they necessarily shouldn't. But the real test comes when, hey, can we break a board with this thing? And the moment we start thinking about actually trying to destroy something, that's when we get the fine tuning of our strikes. So let's see it here one more time all together. You're going to put your hand up by your eyebrow. You're getting ready for your block. Remember, it's just the tiniest little shoulder turn. Try to make it almost imperceptible as you step back and deliver that block. Good. Whoop. Now we've reverted back to rotator cuff. Can we try that one more time? Yes, perfect. There it is. Yep, bend your knees a little bit for me. Now as you draw your right foot into the cat stance, I want you to square your hips and stick your butt out. lift that right heel off the ground. The toe is straight. There we go. Now you're going to lift your leg into the chamber. Oop, let's go put your foot back down into the cat stance for me for just a second. Right there. The right heel, yes, the right heel is off the ground. I need you to stick your butt out, square your hips, and give me a Superman chest. Yep, stick your butt out more. Bend your knees. There we go. Now keep that position as you lift for the chamber. Yep. Extend and hold it. Rechamber and hold it. Now get ready. This is the big moment. Keep that hand up by your left ear, and you're going to plant down with the chop. Yep. Into the neutral bow. Plant and chop. Oop. You're still in a cat stance there, Phil. I need you from your chamber, from your leg up in the air, you're going to step all the way out into a neutral bow. Step out deep into a neutral bow. Keep an eye on Matt there. Boom. That's it. Now you've reached out far. You've straightened your elbow. That will not break a board. His neck is very close to you, so it's not at arm's length. It's quite close to you. And if you want to destroy his neck or destroy a board, you're going to have to keep your elbow a little bent and sort of think about. Here, I'm going to. So this piece of wood is much too big for me to break with a chop, but I'm just going to hold it here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I don't want my chop, if you're familiar at all with like derivatives and tangent lines and that sort of thing in math, I don't want my hand to just touch the surface, right? And obviously I'm trying to strike with this portion. I don't want it to go here and then scrape. But yes, I'm traveling in an arc, but the moment that I make contact, I then want it to kind of be of a linear trajectory into the target. So there is no, I wouldn't follow through back behind and beside. Wherever you're visualizing your target, right? You're in the air, you're thinking of a bad guy bent over. Wherever he is, the moment you hit, from that moment on, it's a linear, almost like a heel palm. Like when you think about a heel palm strike, hit and it keeps going, right? We don't ever go like that or scrape our heel palms, right? So when I'm chopping here, I don't want to scrape, and then I don't get any bonus points for that kind of a follow through. I'm starting here, it's an arc, but the moment I hit, and then it's traveling through linearly into the target, destroying it. All right. So, do you recall the poetic name that we give this technique?
Delayed sword.
Delayed sword. So, sword is a code word for the infamous karate chop that we're using, and delayed refers to that momentary pause after the front kick, giving the opponent an opportunity to bend over for the chop. Some people also say that the word delayed refers to the we don't block and then chop, right? I think early on Parker looked at techniques that went block chop, and so the word delay suggests there's a delay between the block and the chop, and that delay is the time needed to execute the kick in the first place. So however you want to rationalize it, it's delayed sword. So I'm coming up here on time. I have to go. If you guys have more time, I would encourage you to try to translate everything we've just done onto the left side. Thinking about the shoulders, thinking about the delivery of the block, not being rotator cuff, but pectoral and latissimus, all those details. So it's looking really good.
We're going to get together every Friday, and we're working on this stuff, so we'll review the videos and then go through it, and then Saturday, every other Saturday, we're going to be.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. Looking forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Master.
Yep. Bye-bye.